My boyfriend's phone was set to delete messages if I ever checked it. I'm staring at Jake's phone screen, watching every single message disappear before my eyes like some kind of digital magic trick. WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, regular texts, gone, 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 gone. The screen flickers for maybe 3 seconds, then returns to a completely clean home screen. No notification badges. No recent messages. Nothing. My hands are literally shaking as I hold his iPhone 14. It's 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday, and Jake is dead asleep next to me, completely oblivious that I've just discovered his secret. The same secret that's been making me feel insane for the past 18 months. See, here's the thing that's been eating at me: Jake gets messages. I hear his phone buzzing constantly. During dinner, while we're watching Netflix, when we're having sex, that damn phone is always lighting up, always pinging. But whenever I've casually glanced over, or those rare times he's asked me to check something for him, there's never anything there. Clean as a whistle. You're being paranoid, he'd say whenever I mentioned it. I barely text anyone. You know I'm not really a phone person. But I'd literally just heard it buzz 5 times in a row. I started thinking I was losing my mind. Like, genuinely questioning my own perception of reality. Was I imagining the notifications? Was I becoming one of those crazy, jealous girlfriends I'd always sworn I'd never be? Jake certainly made me feel that way every time I brought it up. Tonight was supposed to be different. Tonight I was going to prove to myself that I was being ridiculous, that Jake was right, that I was just being insecure for no reason. He'd left his phone on the nightstand when he went to brush his teeth, and I could see the lock screen showing 3 new messages. 3. I saw them with my own eyes. When he came back, I asked if I could use his phone to check the weather because mine was dead. He hesitated for exactly 2 seconds. I timed it, then handed it over with this weird smile. Sure, babe. You know my passcode. I did know it. 0924, his mom's birthday. He'd given it to me after we moved in together 8 months ago, making this big show about how he had nothing to hide, how he wanted us to have complete transparency. What a joke. So I unlocked his phone, expecting to see those 3 messages, and instead watched in real time as every single conversation thread wiped itself clean. Not deleted, that would show empty chat logs. Wiped. Like they never existed at all. I'm not tech savvy, but I'm not stupid either. This isn't a standard iPhone feature. Jake programmed this. Jake set up some kind of automatic deletion system that triggers whenever someone else unlocks his phone. This is elaborate, premeditated deception. My boyfriend of 2 years, the man I live with, the man I was starting to think about marrying, has spent our entire relationship systematically hiding every single conversation he has with the outside world. And when I've mentioned feeling suspicious about it, he's made me feel crazy instead of just coming clean. I'm looking at him now, sleeping so peacefully, and I want to shake him awake. I want to scream. I want to demand answers. But more than that, I want evidence. Because Jake is really, really good at making me doubt myself, and I have a feeling he's going to try to gaslight his way out of this too. Not this time. This time, I'm going to be ready. I can't fall back asleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see those message threads vanishing like they were never real. I keep replaying the last 2 years, wondering how many red flags I dismissed because Jake made me feel paranoid for noticing them. Like Sarah's birthday party 3 months ago. Jake spent the entire night on his phone, claiming he was handling work stuff, but when Sarah asked to see photos from our recent camping trip, his camera roll was mysteriously empty too. He laughed it off, said his phone had been acting weird, that iCloud wasn't syncing properly. Even Sarah looked confused. She'd literally watched him taking pictures of us around the campfire. Or last week when we were at Target and his phone rang. The caller ID just said mom, but when he answered, he walked away and I heard him say, "Hey beautiful," in this low, intimate voice I recognized. When I asked about it later, he said he always talks to his mom that way, that I was being weird for eavesdropping. But I've heard him talk to his actual mom dozens of times. He calls her ma and sounds like he's perpetually annoyed. At 4:18 a.m., I give up on sleep entirely and creep out to the living room with my laptop. If Jake can play tech games, so can I. I spend the next 2 hours Googling variations of iPhone automatic delete messages and how to hide text from girlfriend until I find what I'm looking for. It's called a shortcut automation. Apparently, you can program iPhones to perform specific actions when certain conditions are met. In Jake's case, he set up his phone to run a mass deletion script whenever it detects a new fingerprint unlock, meaning whenever anyone other than him accesses it. The articles I find are mostly about parents monitoring kids or employers protecting company phones, but the Reddit threads tell a different story. My cheating ex had this set up, writes you/trustyourget23. Took me 3 years to figure out why I felt crazy. He had it deleting everything: texts, call logs, photos, app data, even browser history. Turns out he was maintaining relationships with 4 different women across 2 states. 4 different women. 2 states. My coffee mug slips from my hands, shattering against our hardwood floor. The crash seems impossibly loud in the pre-dawn quiet, and I freeze, listening for sounds from the bedroom. Nothing. Jake could sleep through a tornado, another thing that used to seem charming but now feels convenient for someone with secrets. As I'm cleaning up ceramic shards, my phone buzzes with a text from my best friend Mia. "Girl, I've been thinking about our conversation yesterday. Something's not right with Jake and you know it. Trust your instincts." Yesterday. Right. I'd called Mia crying after Jake snapped at me for asking why his phone was always face down during our date night. I'd felt so stupid, so needy. Mia listened to the whole story and said something that stuck with me. In healthy relationships, you don't have to become a detective to understand your partner's behavior. I screenshot everything I've found about the deletion setup and texted to Mia with a message: "Call me when you wake up." You were right. It's so much worse than I thought. But even as I'm typing, I realize Mia can't help me with what I'm planning to do next. Because I'm not just going to confront Jake. I'm not going to give him another opportunity to make me feel insane. I'm going to beat him at his own game. If Jake wants to be sneaky, I can be sneaky too. But first, I need to know exactly what he's been hiding. And I think I know how to find out. The solution comes to me while I'm staring at Jake's phone charging on the nightstand at 6:23 a.m. He's still dead asleep, snoring softly with that little whistle sound that used to be endearing. Now it just sounds like the soundtrack to my betrayal. If his phone auto-deletes when someone else unlocks it, that means the messages exist right up until the moment I touch it. Which means I need to see his phone without actually touching it. I grab my laptop and remember something my coworker Devin mentioned last month about using his iPad to mirror his iPhone screen for presentations. It's called AirPlay or screen mirroring or something like that. If Jake and I are on the same Wi-Fi network. My hands are trembling as I navigate to Jake's phone settings. This feels like defusing a bomb, one wrong move and he wakes up, or the deletion protocol triggers, or I lose my only chance at the truth. But luck is finally on my side. His AirPlay is enabled, and our devices are synced to the same network. Within minutes, Jake's phone screen is mirrored on my laptop. I'm watching his lock screen in real time, and my stomach drops to the basement. 7 unread messages from workout partner Flexed Biceps. 3 from Coffee Shop Girl. 12 from something called Weekend Plans. 5 from Ashley M. 2 missed calls from Don't Answer, Sarah's friend. I recognize that last one. Sarah's friend Jessica, the one who was being extra friendly at the birthday party. The one Jake claimed was just being nice when I mentioned how she kept touching his arm and laughing too loud at his jokes. My phone buzzes. A text from my mom, "Morning honey. Dad and I are excited to finally meet Jake next weekend at brunch. Should we make reservations for 11 a.m.? Next weekend." The brunch Jake confirmed yesterday. The same Jake who apparently has weekend plans with someone else important enough to warrant 12 unread messages. I screenshot everything on his lock screen, my laptop camera capturing his phone's display. Then I wait. At 6:47 a.m., a new message pops up from Ashley M. "Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you, face blowing a kiss." Last night. While I was lying in bed next to him, thinking he was at his Thursday night basketball league, Ashley M. was having an incredible time with my boyfriend. The basketball league that supposedly runs until 11 p.m. but somehow Jake was home by 9:30, already showered, claiming they canceled early due to gym maintenance issues. I screenshot Ashley's message, and then another one comes in. "When can I see you again? Tomorrow? I can get off work early eyes." My vision goes blurry and I realize I'm crying. Not sad crying, angry crying. The kind of crying that makes you want to break expensive things and key cars and post people's business on Facebook for the whole world to see. But I don't do any of that. Instead, I keep watching. Keep documenting. Because more messages are coming in now, and each one is another nail in Jake's coffin. Coffee Shop Girl at 7:02 a.m. "You left your charger at my place again, lol. Third time this month, face with rolling eyes." His charger. The one he's always claiming to lose, the reason we bought 6 replacement cables in the past 4 months. Turns out he's not losing them, he's leaving them at other women's apartments. Workout partner Flexed Biceps at 7:15 a.m. "Babe, my roommate's gone for the weekend. We finally have the place to ourselves, smiling face with horns." Babe. She called him babe. I'm taking screenshots so fast my laptop starts lagging, but I don't care. This is it. This is everything I need. Not just evidence that Jake is cheating, but evidence that he's running a whole operation. Multiple women, elaborate scheduling, systematic deception that goes so far beyond normal cheating it's almost impressive. Almost. Jake stirs in bed, and I quickly close my laptop. I need more time, but I can hear him waking up. In about 10 minutes, he'll stumble to the bathroom, then check his phone, and all of this evidence will vanish forever. Unless I do something about it first. I have maybe 8 minutes before Jake's alarm goes off. 8 minutes to gather enough evidence to make sure he can never gaslight me again. My laptop is still mirroring his phone screen, and the messages keep coming like some kind of horrible Christmas morning. Weekend Plans, which I now realize is probably a group chat, lights up with 3 rapid-fire messages. "Jake, you're still bringing wine to Emma's thing on Saturday, right? Wait, who's Emma? I thought he was bringing Sarah? No, Emma is the girlfriend. Sarah is the redhead from last weekend." I screenshot so fast I nearly dropped my laptop. They have a group chat. Jake has friends who are actively helping him coordinate his cheating schedule. And one of them knows about me, knows I'm the girlfriend, and they're still helping him juggle other women. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely control the trackpad. Another message pops up in the group chat. "Dude, you need to be more careful. That Emma girl seems smart. My ex-girlfriend figured out way less than what you're doing. Relax. Emma's not suspicious. I've got her thinking she's crazy half the time, face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, you're terrible. But seriously, the phone thing is genius. Where did you find that setup? Reddit. Some guy posted a whole tutorial about covering your tracks. Works perfectly. I have to cover my mouth to keep from screaming. They're laughing about it. Jake and his friends are actually laughing about how he's been systematically destroying my sense of reality for 2 years. There's a tutorial. This is so premeditated it makes my skin crawl. At 7:28 a.m., Ashley M. sends a photo. I almost don't want to look, but I have to know. It's Jake's Lakers jersey, the one he claimed to have lost last month, draped over a chair next to a bed I don't recognize. The timestamp shows it was taken at 11:47 p.m. last night. 11:47. I was already asleep when he got home at 9:30. Which means he came home, showered off another woman's scent, and slipped into bed next to me like nothing happened. The thought makes me physically nauseous. But then I hear Jake's phone alarm starting to buzz in the bedroom. The Samsung ringtone he's used for 3 years, the one that used to mean morning coffee together and lazy Sunday conversations. Now it sounds like a warning siren. I have maybe 30 seconds before he reaches for his phone and all of this evidence disappears forever. Think, Emma, think. That's when I remember something crucial. Jake always checks Instagram first thing in the morning. It's like a compulsion, he'll grab his phone and start scrolling before he even sits up in bed. Which means I have a few extra minutes while he's distracted. I hear him stirring, mumbling morning babe in that scratchy wake-up voice. I quickly minimize my laptop screen and call back, morning. I'm just making coffee. You're up early, he says, and I can hear the suspicion in his voice even from the living room. Couldn't sleep. Excited about brunch with my parents next weekend. The irony isn't lost on me. I'm lying to the liar, buying time to expose his lies. But I need every second I can get. I hear his phone unlock, he must be using his fingerprint scanner, and I know that any moment now, all those messages will start vanishing. But I also know Jake's patterns. He'll spend at least 5 minutes scrolling through Instagram stories, another 5 checking sports scores, and then he'll shower. Which gives me exactly enough time to execute the plan that's been forming in my head since I saw that group chat. If Jake wants to play games with technology, I'm about to show him what real digital warfare looks like. I hear Jake's shower turn on at exactly 7:43 a.m. Perfect. He takes 20-minute showers because he's vain about his hair routine, which gives me enough time to do something I never thought I'd be capable of, hacking into my boyfriend's digital life. Well, not exactly hacking. More like using his own weapons against him. See, Jake made one crucial mistake in his elaborate deception system. He gave me his Apple ID password 6 months ago when we were setting up the shared photo album for his sister's wedding. MANJ 2024. He was so proud of that password, said it represented our future together. What a joke. But jokes aside, that password is my golden ticket. Because while Jake's phone deletes everything when I touch it, his laptop doesn't have the same protection. And everything syncs to iCloud. His MacBook is sitting right there on our kitchen counter, plugged in and sleeping. I wake it up and hold my breath. Please don't have a different password. Please don't have a different password. It doesn't. Same password. Same cocky confidence that I'd never think to check. Within 30 seconds, I'm logged into Jake's iCloud account, and it's like Christmas morning from hell. Everything is here. Every deleted message, every disappeared photo, every conversation that vanished from his phone is backed up in perfect, unedited detail. I start with Ashley M because her messages this morning were the most explicit. The thread goes back 4 months, and it's immediately clear this isn't just hooking up. Jake is telling this woman he loves her. He's making future plans with her. There are photos of them at restaurants I recognize, places he told me he was going for work dinners or hanging with the guys. But the worst part? 3 weeks ago, Jake sent Ashley a photo of the engagement ring he was supposedly saving up to buy me. Except he wasn't asking for her opinion as a friend. He was asking if she'd like it. For her finger. What do you think, babe? Too traditional? I was thinking maybe we could do Christmas tree ring. Christmas. He's planning to propose to Ashley at Christmas. With a ring I thought he was buying for me. My coffee mug starts shaking in my hands as I scroll through more messages. Coffee shop girl, whose real name is apparently Madison, has been sleeping with Jake for 8 months. 8 months. There are hotel receipts, dinner dates, even a weekend trip to San Diego that coincided with Jake's supposed bachelor party for my college friend Derek. I remember that weekend. I'd felt weird about not being invited to meet his college friends, but Jake said Derek specifically wanted it to be just the guys, no girlfriends allowed. The photos in this thread showed Jake and Madison at the beach, at fancy restaurants, in bed together at what looks like a very expensive resort. The shower is still running, but I'm running out of time. I frantically start forwarding everything to my personal email, screenshots, entire conversation threads, photos, even the group chat where his friends coordinate his lies. My inbox is filling up with 2 years worth of evidence. Then I find something that makes me freeze completely. It's a conversation from last month with someone named Mom Redheart, but it's not his real mom. It's a woman named Patricia who's apparently 38 years old and going through a divorce. Jake has been telling her he's single, that he's looking for something serious with an older, more mature woman who can teach him about real love. Patricia. The work emergency that made him miss my birthday dinner was actually Patricia's birthday dinner. The family obligation that kept him out until 2 a.m. last weekend was staying overnight at Patricia's house. But here's the thing that makes me see red. Patricia has been sending Jake money. $300 here, $500 there. She thinks she's helping her younger boyfriend pay his rent while he's between jobs and trying to start his own business. Jake hasn't been between jobs. Jake has a perfectly good job at the marketing firm downtown. Jake has been running a financial scam on this woman while cheating on me with her and at least 3 other people. The shower shuts off. I have maybe 3 minutes before Jake comes looking for his coffee and notices me on his laptop. I forward the last batch of Patricia's messages to my email, slam the laptop shut, and grab my phone. My hands are shaking as I open my camera and start recording a voice memo. It's 8:07 a.m. on Friday, October 18th. Jake Morrison, my boyfriend of 2 years, has been systematically cheating on me with at least 4 different women. He's been taking money from one of them under false pretenses. He's planning to propose to another woman at Christmas. And he's programmed his phone to delete all evidence whenever I try to check it. I pause the recording as I hear Jake's footsteps in the hallway. Hey babe, he calls out, sounding perfectly normal, perfectly loving. Where's that coffee you promised? I look at this man, this stranger, walking toward me in his towel, hair still damp, smile so genuine it could fool anyone. Including me, for 2 entire years. Coming right up, I say sweetly. Just the way you like it. But we both know that's about to change. I make Jake's coffee exactly how he likes it, 2 sugars, splash of oat milk, extra hot, while my brain calculates my next moves. He's sitting at our kitchen island scrolling through his phone, completely oblivious that I just downloaded 2 years of his lies onto my laptop 20 feet away. You seem tense, he says without looking up. Everything okay? The audacity. I'm stirring his coffee, watching him text God knows which woman, and he's asking if I'm okay. Just thinking about work stuff, I lie smoothly. Big presentation next week. He's not even listening. His phone buzzes and I watch his face light up with a secret little smile that I now recognize as his Ashley is texting me expression. Hey, I might be late tonight. Derek wants to grab drinks after basketball. Derek. The same Derek whose bachelor party was actually a romantic weekend with Madison in San Diego. That's fine, I say, handing him his mug. I was thinking about calling Mia anyway. Haven't caught up with her in forever. This gets his attention. Jake has always hated Mia, claimed she was a bad influence who puts ideas in my head. Now I understand why Mia was the only one consistently telling me to trust my instincts. You two aren't going to spend the whole night analyzing our relationship again, are you? He laughs, but there's an edge to it. Why? Is there something to analyze? For just a second, maybe half a second, his mask slips. I see something flicker across his face. Panic? Guilt? But then he's back to charming Jake, reaching over to squeeze my hand. Of course not, babe. I just know how she gets. Everything's a red flag with Mia. The irony is suffocating. Yeah, she definitely sees problems where there aren't any. Jake's phone buzzes again. Then again. He flips it face down without checking, which is new behavior. Usually he reads every message immediately, claims it might be work stuff. Popular morning, I observe casually. Probably just the group chat. You know how the guys get when someone mentions a party. He stands up, kisses the top of my head. I should get ready for work. The guys. The group chat where they coordinate his cheating schedule and laugh about how stupid I am. After Jake leaves for work at 9:15, I call in sick and get to work. Real work. The kind of work that's going to systematically dismantle Jake's entire operation. First stop, Patricia. Poor, divorced, 38-year-old Patricia who thinks she's dating a struggling entrepreneur instead of a lying sociopath with a live-in girlfriend. Her number is saved in Jake's phone as work contact P, but the iCloud messages tell a different story. I craft my text carefully. Hi Patricia, this is going to sound crazy, but I think we need to talk about Jake Morrison. I'm his girlfriend of 2 years, and I just found out he's been lying to both of us. Do you have time for a coffee today? Send. Next, Madison, aka Coffee Shop Girl. According to the messages, she works at that trendy place downtown, Grind Coffee, and she's there every Friday morning until 2 p.m. Hi Madison, you don't know me, but I'm Jake Morrison's girlfriend Emma. I know about the hotel receipts in San Diego. We need to talk. I'll be at Grind at 11 a.m. if you want answers. Send. My phone immediately starts buzzing. Patricia calling. Hello? Is this Emma? Her voice is shaky. Are you really Jake's girlfriend? For 2 years. We live together. Patricia, how much money have you given him? A long pause. Then, oh my god, he said he was single. He said he was looking for something real with me. How much money? Probably $1,500 over the past few months. Maybe $2,000. $2,000. Jake has been scamming this woman out of $2,000 while sleeping in my bed every night. Patricia, I have screenshots of everything. All his messages, all the lies he told you, everything. Do you want to see them? Yes. God, yes. I knew something felt wrong, but he was so convincing. We arranged to meet at a Starbucks across town at noon. 1 down, 3 to go. By 10:30 a.m., I've contacted Madison, Ashley, and even found the contact info for Jessica, don't answer, Sarah's friend, through Sarah's Instagram. I've sent each of them the same message. I know about Jake, I have proof, let's meet. Madison responds first, what? He said you guys broke up months ago. I'll be in the back corner booth wearing a red sweater. This is insane. Ashley takes longer, but eventually, I don't believe you. Jake loves me. He's buying me a ring. Check your messages at 11:15, I text back. Then decide if you believe me. At exactly 11:15, I forward Ashley the screenshot of Jake asking her about my engagement ring, the one he told her he was buying for her finger. She calls immediately. You bitch, she screams into the phone. How could you let me fall in love with him when he was living with you? The accusation is so backwards it takes my breath away. Ashley, I didn't know you existed until this morning. He's been hiding all of you from me for 2 years. That's impossible. We've been together 6 months. We talk every day. He sleeps over twice a week. He sleeps in my bed the other 5 nights. Ashley, he's been playing all of us. The silence stretches so long I think she's hung up. Then, I want to see everything. Every message, every lie. I want to see it all. Meet me at Panera on 5th Street at 2 p.m. Bring tissues. By 11:45, I'm walking into Grind Coffee with a folder full of printed screenshots and a laptop loaded with 2 years of evidence. Madison is exactly where she said she'd be, red sweater, back corner booth, looking like she's about to throw up. Emma, she asks when I approach. That's me. The girlfriend Jake forgot to mention. Madison's face crumples. I am so sorry. I had no idea. He said you two broke up in March, that he was just staying in the apartment until the lease ended. March. That's when we went to couples therapy because I was feeling paranoid and suspicious about his behavior. Jake convinced me I was having trust issues and needed professional help. Madison, it's not your fault. He lied to both of us. I slide into the booth across from her. But I need you to know something. This isn't just about cheating. Jake has been running an entire operation. There are at least 4 women, maybe more. And one of them has been giving him money. Money? Her eyes widen. Oh God. Last month he asked me to cover his car payment because his paycheck was delayed. $347. He said he'd pay me back this week. He's not going to pay you back, Madison. And his paycheck wasn't delayed. I've seen his bank statements. I show her everything. Every message thread, every lie, every coordinated deception. Madison starts crying halfway through, but she doesn't stop looking. She needs to see it all, just like I did. What are we going to do? She asks when I finish. We're going to destroy him, I say simply. But first, we need to meet the others. The meeting at Starbucks with Patricia is devastating in a completely different way than Madison. Where Madison was hurt and angry, Patricia is destroyed. She sits across from me in a wrinkled business suit, mascara streaked down her cheeks, looking like her entire world just collapsed. I should have known, she keeps repeating. I should have known a 26-year-old wasn't actually interested in a divorced woman with 2 kids. Patricia, don't blame yourself. Jake is a professional manipulator. But she's not hearing me. She's staring at the screenshots I printed out, reading Jake's messages where he calls her his beautiful older woman and talks about wanting to build a real future with her. The same week he was planning Ashley's Christmas proposal. He met my daughters, she whispers. Last month, when my ex-husband couldn't take them for the weekend. Jake came over and played video games with Emma, she's 8, and he helped Sophia with her math homework. They asked when they'd see him again. My stomach drops. Patricia. I told them he might be their new stepdad someday. Because that's what Jake said he wanted. He said he was ready to be a family man. She's crying harder now, and I realize this goes so much deeper than money or even heartbreak. Jake has been destroying this woman's children too. How much did he take from you total? $2,300. Car payment, rent, his sister's medical bills, that was a lie too, wasn't it? He doesn't even have a sister. He has a sister. She's married to a doctor and lives in Connecticut. I remember meeting her at the wedding where Jake and I took all those photos together, the ones that are probably saved in his family folder to show other women how relationship-oriented he is. Patricia starts laughing, but it's the kind of laugh that sounds like breaking glass. $2,300. Do you know what I could have done with that money? Dance classes for Emma. Sophia needs a new violin for orchestra. I've been eating peanut butter sandwiches for lunch every day so I could help my boyfriend pay his bills. I reach across the table and squeeze her hand. We're going to get your money back. How? He'll just deny everything. Say I'm a crazy woman making things up. That's when I show her my secret weapon. I pull out my laptop and show her the screen recording I made this morning, Jake's phone displaying all his messages in real time before they auto-delete. I have video evidence of every conversation. Timestamps, message threads, everything. And Patricia, I found something else in his laptop that you need to know about. I clicked to a folder I discovered around 11 a.m., buried deep in Jake's documents. It's labeled insurance, but it's not insurance information. It's profiles. Detailed profiles of every woman he's dating, including notes about their financial situations, work schedules, and what he calls emotional vulnerabilities. Patricia's profile is the most detailed: recent divorce, low self-esteem about age, desperate for male approval. 2 kids equals built-in family man credibility. Works in accounting so has steady income but feels guilty about dating again. Responds well to mature woman praise and future planning discussions. Financial assistance request should be framed as temporary embarrassment. He wrote a manual, I tell her as she reads her own psychological profile. Jake has been studying us like we're some kind of science experiment. Patricia's face goes through about 15 different emotions before settling on something I've never seen before, pure rage. He has been playing with my children's lives based on a psychological profile? There's more. He rates us all on different categories. Financial usefulness, scheduling flexibility, likelihood to cause problems. I click to another document. He calls it his relationship portfolio management system. The more Patricia reads, the angrier she gets, and the more I realize Jake isn't just a cheater. He's a predator. This level of manipulation, the detailed psychological profiles, the systematic exploitation, this is sociopathic behavior. We're not just exposing him to his friends, Patricia says finally, closing my laptop with a sharp snap. We're going to the police. This is fraud. This is theft by deception. And if he's done this to us, he's done it to other women too. She's right. The profiles in his folder go back 3 years, with at least 12 different women's names. Some are marked concluded with notes about why each relationship ended. Most of them ended because the women became suspicious or started asking too many questions. But first, Patricia continues, we're going to make sure every woman in the city knows exactly what Jake Morrison is. At 2 p.m. sharp, I'm sitting in Panera with what looks like the world's most depressing book club. Madison's red sweater is wrinkled from crying, Patricia keeps checking her phone for texts from Jake that aren't coming, and Ashley showed up 20 minutes late wearing sunglasses indoors because her eyes are too swollen to hide. So let me get this straight, Ashley says, stirring her untouched latte. We all thought we were the only one, but Jake has been running us like some kind of dating corporation? Complete with performance metrics, I confirm, sliding Jake's printed profiles across the table. Ashley, you're rated as high emotional investment, low maintenance, excellent schedule flexibility. Congratulations. Ashley reads her profile with the kind of fascination you'd reserve for a car accident. Jesus Christ. He wrote down that I'm daddy issues motivated and responds to expensive gestures. What am I, a lab rat? We all are, Madison says quietly. Look at mine. Coffee shop employee, irregular hours, desperate to feel sophisticated. Most effective approach, intellectual conversations and downtown restaurant dates. He literally studied my insecurities and weaponized them. Patricia's been silent for 10 minutes, just staring at the evidence pile. When she finally speaks, her voice is ice cold. I found something else. After I left Starbucks, I went home and checked my credit card statements. She pulls out a manila folder thick with printed bank records. 3 months ago, Jake asked to borrow my card for groceries because his was frozen due to suspicious activity. I gave it to him because I trusted him. He spent $97 at Whole Foods like he said. That doesn't sound too bad, Madison starts, but Patricia cuts her off. That same day, he also spent $234 at Victoria's Secret, $160 at some fancy restaurant called Marcello's, and $89 on flowers from 1-800-FLOWERS. None of which he told me about. The table goes silent. Ashley slowly removes her sunglasses, revealing eyes that look like she's been in a boxing match. Marcello's, she whispers. He took me to Marcello's for our 3-month anniversary. September 15th. He said he'd been saving up for weeks to afford it. The flowers were delivered to my office, Madison adds, pulling out her phone. September 15th, white roses with a card that said thinking of you every moment. And the Victoria's Secret receipt, I say, feeling sick, was probably for the lingerie set he gave me that same week. The one he said he picked out himself because he knew exactly what would look beautiful on me. Patricia's hands are shaking as she flips through more receipts. There's more. Over 3 months, Jake charged almost $1,500 to my card for things he never told me about. Hotels, restaurants, jewelry, even what looks like a weekend rental car. The San Diego trip, Madison and I say simultaneously. But here's what I don't understand, Ashley says, leaning forward. Why keep all of us? I mean, if he was planning to propose to me at Christmas, why not just pick one? That's when I remember something from Jake's laptop that made my skin crawl. I pull out my phone and scroll through the photos I took of his documents. Because he wasn't planning to propose to just you, Ashley. Look at this. I show them a document titled Q for Relationship Strategy. It's dated 2 weeks ago. Ashley, December proposal, January engagement announcement, June wedding timeline. High emotional investment makes transition to marriage most viable long-term financial strategy. Patricia maintains secondary relationship through spring. Two-home situation provides scheduling flexibility and financial backup. Children create natural progression timeline. Madison, casual relationship maintenance through coffee shop connection. Low time investment, high emotional return. Potential promotion to primary if Ashley relationship becomes complicated. Emma, current lease expires February 2025. Maintain stability until spring transition complete, then gradual separation protocol. We all stare at the screen in stunned silence. He was planning to marry Ashley while keeping Patricia as a side relationship and me as a backup plan, Madison finally says. And Emma, he was going to dump you once Ashley was locked in. It's not even about love, Ashley says, and she sounds completely hollow. We're all just assets. He's been treating us like a portfolio he needs to manage. Patricia closes her folder with a sharp snap. I've changed my mind about going to the police first. What do you mean? I ask. Tonight is Friday night. Jake is supposed to meet me at 8 p.m. at my house. My daughters are at their father's this weekend, so we have privacy. He's expecting dinner and probably another few $100s for his fake emergency. She looks around the table at each of us, and I see something dangerous in her eyes. Instead, he's going to find all of us waiting for him. With every screenshot, every receipt, every lie printed out and organized. And we're going to watch him try to explain his way out of 2 years of systematic fraud. Madison grins for the first time all day. I like this plan. Then we go to the police, Ashley adds. But first, we make him face what he's done to all of us. I think about Jake's smug face this morning, asking if I was okay, warning me not to spend too much time talking to Mia. Jake, who's probably texting Ashley right now about their weekend plans while confirming tonight's schedule with Patricia. What time did you say he's expecting you? 8 p.m. sharp. He's very punctual when it comes to his manipulation schedule. Perfect. That gives us 5 hours to prepare everything. I look around the table at these 3 women, strangers 12 hours ago, co-conspirators now, and realize Jake made one crucial miscalculation in his relationship portfolio management system. He underestimated what would happen when his assets decided to work together. At exactly 3:47 p.m., my phone starts blowing up with texts from Jake. I'm sitting in my car outside Patricia's house with Madison and Ashley, going through our final preparations, when his name lights up my screen. Hey babe, change of plans tonight. Derek's basketball got moved to 7 p.m. so I'll be later than usual. Then another, probably won't be home until 11 or so. Don't wait up, red heart. And a third, order yourself some Thai food, my treat. Love you. I screenshot everything and show the others. Ashley's face goes white. He's not going to Derek's, she says quietly. He's coming to see me first. We're supposed to have dinner at 6:30 at that new Italian place on 7th Street. He said he had something important to tell me. Patricia checks her watch. And he's supposed to be at my house at 8. Which means he's planning to have dinner with you, Ashley, then come straight to me for dessert. The audacity is breathtaking. Jake has scheduled his Friday night like a business itinerary, 6:30 p.m. romantic dinner with Ashley, 8 p.m. intimate evening with Patricia, home to me by 11 p.m. like nothing happened. What if he doesn't show up to Patricia's? Madison asks. If we ambush him at the restaurant, he might just run. He'll show up, Patricia says grimly. I texted him an hour ago saying I had good news about some extra money I could lend him. Jake never misses an opportunity for cash. But as we're talking, Ashley's phone buzzes. Her face goes through several emotions as she reads. Change of plans, she announces. Jake just moved our dinner to 5:30. Says he wants more time with me tonight because he has something special planned. My stomach drops. He knows something's wrong. How could he know? Madison asks. We've been careful. That's when I realized my mistake. This morning, when I was forwarding evidence to my email, I was using Jake's laptop while logged into his iCloud account. If he has notifications enabled, if he checked his sync history, if he noticed any unusual activity. I think I screwed up, I admit. When I was gathering evidence this morning, I might have left digital fingerprints. If Jake's as tech-savvy as his phone deletion system suggests, he could have ways of monitoring his accounts. Ashley's phone buzzes again. She reads the message and her face goes completely pale. What does it say? Patricia demands. He wants to pick me up from work instead of meeting at the restaurant. Says he wants to talk about us during the drive. Ashley's voice is shaking. That's not normal for Jake. He never wants to have serious conversations. Unless he knows the conversation is about to happen whether he wants it or not, I say. Patricia grabs Ashley's phone and starts typing. Tell him you can't leave work early. Tell him your manager scheduled a last-minute inventory count and you have to stay until 6:45. What's that going to do? It's going to force him to stick to his original timeline instead of trying to control the situation. Patricia hands the phone back. If Jake is suspicious, he's going to try to isolate each of us separately and figure out what we know. We can't let him do that. Ashley sends the message, but her hands are trembling. What if he just doesn't show up at all? What if he runs? Where's he going to run to? Madison asks. His name is on the lease with Emma, his job is here, his whole life is here. Jake's not the type to disappear. He's the type to lie until he figures out how to fix the situation. She's right, but something still feels wrong. Jake's sudden schedule changes, the way he's trying to control timing and locations, it feels like he's preparing for something. My phone buzzes with another text from Jake, actually babe, might be even later tonight. Derek wants to grab drinks after basketball. Might crash at his place. See you tomorrow morning, red heart. I show the others. Patricia laughs, but it's not a happy sound. He's planning to spend the entire night with me, she says. Jake thinks he's going to have dinner with Ashley, then come to my house for an overnight visit while telling Emma he's sleeping at Derek's. He's trying to maximize his time while minimizing his risk. Except he has no idea we're all going to be waiting for him, Ashley says, and for the first time today, she sounds excited instead of devastated. But as we finalize our 8 p.m. confrontation plan, I can't shake the feeling that Jake is planning something too. And after 2 years of being outmaneuvered by him, I'm terrified he's still 3 steps ahead of us. At 5:15 p.m., everything goes sideways. I'm sitting in my car outside Patricia's house, running through our confrontation script one more time, when Ashley calls in a panic. "He's here," she whispers into the phone. "Jake just walked into the coffee shop. He's not supposed to pick me up for another 15 minutes, and I told him I couldn't leave until 6:45. "What's he doing?" Patricia asks. "We've got her on speakerphone. Talking to Madison." Oh God, he's talking to Madison. My blood turns to ice. Madison was supposed to be working her normal Friday shift at Grind Coffee until 7 p.m., staying completely out of Jake's way until tonight. We never considered that Jake might show up there early. "Can you hear what they're saying?" I ask, already starting my car. "No, but Madison looks, oh no. Oh no no no. She's crying." Jake has his arm around her and she's crying. This is bad. If Jake's already gotten to Madison, if he's spinning some story about how we're all crazy ex-girlfriends trying to ruin his life, if he's convincing her that everything she saw today was fake. "Ashley, I need you to walk over there right now and interrupt whatever he's telling her." I can't. If Jake sees me here when I'm supposed to be stuck at work, he'll know something's wrong. She's right, but we're losing control of the situation. Through the phone, I can hear the coffee shop ambience, espresso machines, conversation, normal Friday afternoon sounds that feel surreal considering what's happening. "Wait," Ashley whispers. "Madison just handed Jake something. It looks like, oh my God, it's money. She just gave Jake cash." "How much?" Patricia demands. "I don't know, but it's a thick envelope. And now she's kissing him goodbye. Like nothing happened. Like this morning never happened." My heart sinks. Jake got to Madison first. Somehow, he convinced her that we were lying, that the evidence was fake, that she should trust him over us. And now she's funding whatever his next move is going to be. He's leaving, Ashley reports. Walking out of the coffee shop. Madison's going back behind the counter like everything's normal. What do I do? Follow him, Patricia and I say simultaneously. Are you insane? He'll see me. Not if you're careful. Stay way back, use other people as cover. We need to know where he's going and what he's planning. For the next 20 minutes, Ashley gives us live updates as she tails Jake through downtown. He goes to the bank, making a deposit, looks like Madison's envelope plus maybe other stuff. Then to an electronics store, he's buying something, looks expensive, some kind of tablet or laptop. Then somewhere that makes my stomach drop. He's at a law office, Ashley reports, sounding out of breath. Morrison, Klein and Associates. The sign says they specialize in harassment and defamation cases. Morrison, Klein and Associates. Morrison. Jake's last name is Morrison. Ashley, take a picture of that sign right now and send it to all of us. When the photo comes through, Patricia immediately starts Googling. Found it. James Morrison, senior partner. 30 years experience in civil litigation, specializing in protecting clients from malicious relationship-based accusations. James Morrison. Jake's father, who he told me was a retired construction worker living in Florida. Jake's dad isn't retired, I say, feeling sick. His dad is a lawyer who specializes in exactly this kind of situation. Jake's been playing us this whole time, and now he's getting legal advice on how to destroy us. Patricia's quiet for a long moment. Then, Emma, I need to ask you something important. When you were gathering evidence this morning, did you technically break any laws? Accessing his accounts, forwarding his private messages? The question hits me like cold water. In my fury to expose Jake, I never considered that I might have been doing something illegal. Accessing someone else's iCloud account without permission, forwarding their private conversations, screenshotting personal messages, it all felt justified because Jake was lying to us, but legally. I used passwords he gave me, I say weekly. But not for the purpose he gave them to you for. Emma, if Jake's father is as good as his website suggests, they might be building a case against us. Harassment, invasion of privacy, maybe even fraud charges. Ashley's voice comes through the phone, smaller now, he's coming back out. He's on his phone and he looks competent. Like really competent. Like he just solved all his problems. That's when I realize what Jake's real plan is. He's not going to run, and he's not going to try to explain his way out of this. He's going to destroy us first. Use his father's legal expertise to turn us from victims into perpetrators, paint us as a group of unstable women who conspired to ruin an innocent man's life. We need to get to Patricia's house right now, I say, already pulling out of my parking spot. All of us. We need to have our confrontation before Jake has time to serve us with restraining orders or get us arrested or whatever his father is helping him plan. What about the 8 p.m. timeline? Patricia asks. Forget the timeline. Jake's already off script, which means we need to be too. As I'm driving toward Patricia's house, my phone buzzes with a text from Jake. Hey babe, small change in plans again. Derek's basketball got cancelled, so I'll be home around 7. Can't wait to see you, Red Heart. 7 p.m. Jake's planning to be home at 7 p.m., which means he's not planning to go to Patricia's house at all. He's going to try to control the situation from our apartment, probably with legal documents in hand and a story about how his crazy ex-girlfriends are stalking him. But Jake made one mistake in his counter-strategy. He assumed we'd wait around for him to make the first move. He's wrong. At 6:23 p.m., we're all crammed into Patricia's living room like the world's most dysfunctional intervention team. The coffee table is covered with printed evidence, bank statements, screenshots, Jake's creepy psychological profiles of each of us. Patricia's hands are shaking as she arranges everything into neat piles. What if this backfires? Ashley asks for the 10th time. What if his lawyer father really can get us arrested? Then we go down swinging, Patricia says grimly. Because I'm not letting Jake Morrison destroy my daughter's trust in men the way he destroyed mine. That's when my phone rings. Jake's name on the screen, and my blood pressure spikes immediately. Answer it, Madison urges. Act normal. We need to know what he's planning. I take a deep breath and swipe to accept. Hey babe. Emma. Jake's voice sounds different. Colder. We need to talk. About what? I thought you were coming home at 7. About Madison Chen, Ashley Rodriguez, and Patricia Williams. Ring any bells? My heart stops. He knows. He knows everything, and he's using their full names like he's reading from a legal document. I don't know what you mean, I lie, but my voice cracks. Really? Because Madison just told me about a very interesting conversation she had with you this morning. Something about fake screenshots and a group of women trying to frame me for cheating. I look across the room at Madison, who's gone completely white. She shakes her head frantically and mouths I didn't tell him anything. Jake, I think there's been a misunderstanding. The misunderstanding, he cuts me off, is that you thought you were smarter than me. Emma, I've known about your little detective work since 9 a.m. this morning. My laptop logs every login, every file accessed, every email sent. Did you really think I wouldn't notice someone forwarding 2 years of my private conversations? The room spins. Jake's been watching me all day. He knew about our meetings, our plans, everything. But here's what's really pathetic, he continues, and I can hear the smile in his voice. You convinced 3 innocent women to participate in your harassment campaign. Madison, Patricia, Ashley, they all think they're victims, but really they're just props in your psychotic jealousy fantasy. That's not. I have bank records showing Patricia willingly gave me money. I have text messages showing Madison initiated our relationship. I have photos Ashley sent me proving she pursued me while knowing I was in a committed relationship with you. Each word hits like a physical blow. Jake's not just defending himself, he's rewriting the entire story with himself as the victim. The lawyer I met with today explained something interesting about California harassment laws. Jake continues conversationally. Apparently, when multiple women coordinate to stalk and defame a man using illegally obtained private communications, that's a felony conspiracy charge. Each. Patricia grabs my arm, her face terrified. Ashley starts crying again. Madison looks like she's going to throw up. But I'm not unreasonable, Jake says. I'm willing to forget this whole thing happened. Patricia gets her money back, everyone goes their separate ways, and we pretend today never existed. All you have to do is come home right now and we'll talk through your trust issues like adults. My trust issues? Emma, you hacked into my personal accounts because you were convinced I was cheating. That's not normal behavior. That's stalker behavior. My father thinks I should press charges immediately, but I still love you. I want to get you help instead. The manipulation is so smooth, so perfectly crafted, that for a split second I almost believe him. Jake's making me sound like the crazy one again, turning 2 years of his systematic deception into my paranoid delusions. But then I look around Patricia's living room at the evidence we've spent all day collecting, at 3 other women whose lives Jake has systematically destroyed, and I remember something important. I'm not crazy. And I'm not alone anymore. Jake, I say sweetly, I'll be right home. Good girl. And Emma? Leave whatever fake evidence you think you found at Patricia's house. We both know it won't hold up in court anyway. After I hang up, the room is dead silent. Finally, Ashley speaks. So we're screwed. Not yet, I say, grabbing my keys. But we need to move fast. At 6:47 p.m., Madison went nuclear and posted a TikTok video of herself reading Jake's psychological manipulation notes out loud, complete with his coffee shop girl contact name displayed on her phone screen. My phone is buzzing with notifications as people start commenting, sharing, reacting. Jake's about to discover that his private manipulation tactics are becoming very public knowledge. I take the elevator to our 3rd floor apartment and use my key quietly. Jake's in the kitchen making himself a sandwich, still wearing his work clothes, looking completely relaxed. Like he's already won. Hey babe, he says without turning around. Glad you came to your senses. Oh, I definitely came to something, I reply, setting my purse on the counter. Jake, I need to ask you about something. Sure. What's up? He's still not looking at me, slicing tomatoes with the confidence of a man who thinks he successfully gaslit his way out of trouble. James Morrison at Morrison, Klein and Associates. That's your father, isn't it? Now he turns around, and I catch the flash of surprise before he covers it. You've been doing more research, haven't you, Emma? Yes, that's my dad. I thought it was time you knew the truth about my family. The truth. Right. I pull out my phone and open the screenshots I took of his laptop. Speaking of truth, I'm curious about this document titled Legal Contingency Planning that I found in your files. The one dated 6 months ago. Jake's face goes completely still. Emma. It's fascinating reading, actually. Apparently, you've been preparing for this exact scenario since March. Quote, in the event of relationship exposure, primary strategy should focus on discrediting accusers through invasion of privacy claims and coordinated harassment narrative. I swipe to the next screenshot. Oh, and this part is interesting. Father's legal expertise provides significant advantage in controlling narrative and pursuing charges against multiple plaintiffs. Jake, you've been planning to destroy us legally since before some of these relationships even started. You're taking that out of context. Am I? Because there's also this lovely section about maximizing financial extraction before legal separation becomes necessary. Is that why you convinced Patricia to put her credit card on file for your emergencies? Is that why Madison's been covering your car payments? Jake sets down the knife and I see his entire demeanor shift. Gone is the relaxed confidence, the charming boyfriend routine. What's looking at me now is calculating and cold. Emma, you need to be very careful about what accusations you're making. Or what? You'll have daddy sue me? I laugh, and it sounds dangerous even to my own ears. Jake, while you were meeting with your father this afternoon, your victims were uploading evidence to every social media platform that exists. Check your phone. He grabs his iPhone and I watch his face change as he scrolls through notification after notification. Comments on his Instagram photos, tags and posts he can't control, shares a content that's spreading faster than he can delete it. You psychotic bitch, he whispers. There's the real Jake, I say pleasantly. I was wondering when he'd show up. Jake's hands are shaking as he scrolls through his phone, watching 2 years of careful manipulation crumble in real time. His Instagram comments are flooded with fire emojis and snake emojis. His LinkedIn has 3 messages from coworkers asking if everything's okay. Someone even found his Venmo account and started commenting on his recent transactions to Patricia and Madison. This is harassment, he says, but his voice cracks. My father will. Your father will what, exactly? I interrupt. Sue the internet? Jake, there are already 47 shares on Patricia's Facebook post. Madison's TikTok has 3,000 views and counting. Ashley's Instagram story has been screenshotted by half your coworkers. That's when his phone starts ringing. The caller ID says Dad and Jake stares at it like it might explode. Answer it, I suggest sweetly. I'd love to hear how James Morrison, Esquire, plans to put this particular genie back in the bottle. Jake declines the call, but it immediately starts ringing again. Then a text comes through that I can read from across the kitchen counter. Call me now. Your mess is all over my firm's Facebook page. Oops, I say, not feeling remotely sorry. Looks like Patricia tagged Morrison, Klein and Associates in her post about dating predators. I bet that's great for business. Jake's facade finally cracks completely. He slams his phone down so hard the screen shatters, and suddenly he's screaming, you have no idea what you've done. I know exactly what I've done. I've made sure every woman in this city knows what Jake Morrison really is. You've ruined my life over nothing. A few conversations, some casual dating. $2,300 from Patricia alone isn't casual dating, Jake. It's fraud. She gave me that money willingly. Based on lies about your financial situation, your relationship status, and your intentions. That's literally the definition of fraud. Jake starts pacing our small kitchen like a trapped animal. His perfectly styled hair is falling in his face, his work shirt is wrinkled, and for the first time in 2 years, he looks genuinely panicked. You don't understand, he says, running his hands through his hair. This job market, this economy, do you know how expensive it is to maintain the kind of lifestyle women expect? The restaurants, the gifts, the dates? I stare at him in disbelief. So you decided to crowdsource it by scamming 4 different women? It's not scamming, it's resource optimization. Madison wanted to feel sophisticated, so I took her to nice places. Patricia wanted to feel needed, so I let her help financially. Ashley wanted romance, so I gave her romance. Everyone got what they wanted. What about what I wanted, Jake? What about honesty? He looks at me like I've said something ridiculous. You wanted stability. You got stability. 2 years living together, no drama, no fights. No truth. Truth? Jake laughs, but it sounds hysterical. Emma, you couldn't handle the truth. You spent 2 years feeling suspicious just from hearing my phone buzz. If you'd known the actual scope of my social life, you'd have had a complete breakdown. The pure audacity takes my breath away. Even now, with his entire operation exposed, Jake still thinks he was doing me a favor by lying. That's when my phone buzzes with a text from Patricia. Check Jake's LinkedIn. Someone from his work just posted something interesting. I open LinkedIn and navigate to Jake's profile. His most recent activity shows that his supervisor, David Chen, has posted a status update 37 minutes ago. Sometimes you think you know someone. Disappointed to learn about my employee's personal conduct. Morrison Marketing values integrity above all else. David Chen. Madison's last name is Chen. Jake, I say slowly, please tell me Madison isn't related to your boss. The look of pure terror that crosses his face tells me everything I need to know. Madison Chen, I say, watching Jake's face drain of all color. Your boss David Chen's daughter. The coffee shop girl you've been manipulating for 8 months is your supervisor's kid. Jake sinks into one of our kitchen chairs like his legs just gave out. It's not, she never said. I didn't know they were related until. Until when, Jake? Last month. She mentioned her dad worked in marketing and showed me a photo from some family barbecue. David was in the background. He puts his head in his hands. But by then we were all ready, and she seemed happy. I thought I could just keep it separate. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a screenshot from Ashley. Madison has posted a follow-up TikTok, and this one has Jake's full name, his workplace, and the caption, when you find out your manipulative boyfriend has been stealing money from a divorced mom to pay for your date's skull, #narcissist, #financial abuse, #red flags. Jake, that second video has 12,000 views already. He looks up from his hands, and I've never seen him look so defeated. My career is over. David's going to fire me Monday morning, and with this social media shitstorm, no marketing firm in the city will touch me. Good, I say, and I mean it. Maybe Patricia can get her grocery money back from your severance pay. That's when his phone starts ringing again. This time it's not his father, it's a number I don't recognize. Jake stares at it for 3 rings before answering. Hello? I can hear a woman's voice through the speaker, angry and loud. Is this Jake Morrison? The predator who's been scamming women online? Who is this? This is Rebecca Santos from Channel 7 News. We've received multiple tips about your dating manipulation scheme and we'd like to get your side of the story. Are you available for an on-camera interview tomorrow morning? Jake hangs up immediately, but the phone starts ringing again within seconds. Different number this time. They found me, he whispers. The news stations found me. What did you expect? Patricia's Facebook post has been shared over 200 times in the past hour. Madison's TikToks are going viral. Ashley tagged every local news station in her Instagram stories. I lean against the counter, watching him spiral. You created a documentary-worthy scandal, Jake. Of course the media wants to cover it. His phone buzzes with a text from his father. Do not talk to any reporters. Do not post anything online. Come to my office immediately. But before Jake can respond, another text comes through from a number labeled unknown. Saw the post about you. You did the same thing to my sister 2 years ago in Portland. She tried to warn people but no one believed her. Thank God someone finally exposed you. Channel 12 wants to interview her about your pattern of behavior. Portland. Jake told me he'd never lived in Portland. Jake, I say quietly, how many cities have you done this in? He doesn't answer, just stares at his phone as more unknown numbers start texting. Women from San Francisco, Sacramento, even one from Seattle. All with similar stories about Jake Morrison, the charming manipulator who disappeared when they got too suspicious. This isn't just about us 4, I realize. You've been running this exact same operation for years, haven't you? Moving from city to city when things get too complicated? Jake finally looks up at me, and what I see in his eyes isn't guilt or remorse. It's rage. You have no idea what you've unleashed, he says in a voice I've never heard before. You think you're so smart, but you just painted a target on all of you. There are things about my past, about my father's connections, that you don't understand. Is that a threat? It's a warning. This doesn't end with some viral TikToks, Emma. This ends when I decide it ends. The threat hangs in our kitchen like poison, and suddenly I remember why I fell for Jake in the first place. He's genuinely scary when he wants to be. But then my phone buzzes with a group text from Patricia, police report filed. Detective Martinez says with this much evidence and social media documentation, they're treating it as organized fraud. Jake's going to be arrested Monday morning. I show Jake the message and watch his face crumble completely. You called the cops? His voice cracks like a teenager's. Patricia did. Apparently, stealing over $2,000 through romantic deception is a felony in California. Who knew? Jake's phone rings again, his father, but this time he answers. I can hear James Morrison's voice through the speaker, loud and furious. You idiot. I told you to keep this contained. Channel 7 just called my office asking about my son, the serial dating predator. Do you understand what this does to my reputation? Dad, I can fix this dash. Fix this? There are women from 4 different states posting evidence of your schemes. The State Bar Association is already asking questions about whether I helped you evade consequences. His father's voice drops to something deadly quiet. Pack your things. You're not welcome in my firm or my house until this blows over. If it blows over, the line goes dead. Jake stares at his phone like it just bit him. So much for Daddy's legal protection, I observe. That's when the most beautiful sound I've ever heard echoes through our apartment building. Heavy footsteps on the stairs, multiple sets, getting closer. LAPD. We have a warrant for Jake Morrison. Jake bolts toward our bedroom, probably thinking he can escape through the fire escape. But I hear car doors slamming outside. They've got the building surrounded. Jake Morrison, you're under arrest for theft by deception, conspiracy to commit fraud, and identity theft. The identity theft charge is new. Apparently, while Patricia was at the police station, they discovered Jake had been using fake names and employment information on dating apps across multiple states. The Portland woman wasn't his only previous victim, there were dozens. As they're cuffing him in our living room, Jake looks at me with something like admiration. I underestimated you, he says quietly. Yes, you did. This isn't over, Emma. I'll appeal, I'll fight the charges dash. Jake, I interrupt gently. Madison's second TikTok has 43,000 views and counting. Channel 7 is running your story tomorrow night. Patricia's Facebook post has been shared in 17 different women supporting women groups. Your photo is being distributed to every dating safety forum on the internet. The officer reading his rights pauses as my phone buzzes with yet another notification. Oh, and Jake? Someone created a Wikipedia page about you. Jake Morrison dating scam is now the 3rd result when you Google your name. As they lead him away, Jake turns back one last time. You destroyed my entire life. I think about Patricia's daughters asking when they'd see him again. I think about Madison covering his car payments while eating ramen for dinner. I think about Ashley planning a future with a man who was simultaneously proposing to someone else. No, Jake. I just made sure everyone else could see what you'd already done to yourself. The door closes behind him with the most satisfying click I've ever heard. By Monday morning, hashtag Jake Morrison scam is trending on 3 social media platforms. The story goes national when other victims start coming forward, 17 women across 6 states, with documented theft totaling over $38,000. Patricia got her money back through victim restitution. Madison got promoted to assistant manager after her viral TikToks brought massive publicity to Grind Coffee. Ashley started a support group for manipulation victims that now has 42 members. And me? I got something better than revenge. I got my sanity back.